In this video, we are going through the process of deploying an instance of the fair data point in your machine. I'm also going to show you how to get information about the tool, its source code and documentation. Then we will follow the steps to deploy a fair data point in your computer. For the purposes of this video, we assume that you have some knowledge about basic internet concepts like URLs, IP addresses, ports, etc. For the deployment, we will use Docker, so a basic knowledge about Docker containers and images is needed. We are not going into details of these technologies, so if you don't know much about them, there are many online resources that you can look at to get more familiar. I included some links in the description below to get you started. If you want to have access to the source code or to the documentation of the fair data point, you can find them in the fair data point GitHub Repository page. You can open this page by typing in your browser github.com/fairdatateam/fairdatapoint, or you can type fairdatapoint.org that takes you to the GitHub page as well. In this page, we have access to the source code of the fair data point and information on how to clone and use the source code in your computer for development. We also have the links to the related projects, such as the Fair Data Point web client, tests, OpenRefine extension, and the source code of the documentation. Since the goal of this video is to go through the steps of deploying the Fair Data Point in your machine, we will follow the link for the deployment documentation. This documentation includes instructions to deploy the Fair Data Point on your local machine for tests, learning, and demonstrations, or on a server for a production deployment. We also have instructions for advanced configurations like setting up different triple stores, MongoDB, and other customizations. To get the instructions for our local deployment, we follow the local deployment link. To facilitate the deployment of our reference implementation of the fair data point, we distribute it as a Docker image. Because of this, if you want to deploy it, you should first have the Docker runtime environment on your machine. If you don't have it installed, you can go to docker.com. Then select Products and click on Docker Desktop to download and install. They have versions for Mac, Windows, and Linux available. You can check if Docker is installed in your computer by opening the terminal and typing Docker. If it is installed, you'll see a list of options for the Docker command. Going back to the deployment documentation, we have an example of Docker Compose configuration to deploy the Fair Data Point server, the Fair Data Point client, and MongoDB. You can copy and paste this configuration file in your favorite text editor and save it in a folder. With the Docker Compose file saved in your machine, you can go to the folder and execute the command docker-compose up-d. This will instruct Docker to download all these images from Docker Hub image repository, deploy them in your computer, and execute. You can check if the images are indeed running by opening the Docker Desktop dashboard. Here you can see the Fair Data Point group running, and if you expand it, you can see every image of the group, the web client, the server, and the MongoDB. Now that we have checked that the Fair Data Point images are running, we can see if our web client is working. To open the web client deployed in your local computer, you can go to your browser and type localhost. If everything is working fine, you should see a page with the default metadata of your Fair Data Point. This metadata content is a placeholder, so you can add it and enter your own metadata information. Very good. We have successfully deployed the Fair Data Point in our machine. In upcoming videos, we will see how to configure the Fair Data Point, creating users, adding and editing metadata content, changing the metadata schemas, configuring triple stores, customizing the appearance of the web client, and deploying the Fair Data Point in a server.